What is up, guys? It's Innofunni here. We're going to be playing out the new Aquarion. We're going to see the skin, we're going to see all the balance changes they made in this update, play some nice chilled game. After that, we're going to talk strategy a little bit. If you want to skip to that, go ahead. Otherwise, let's get settled in. Alright, we finally got our game in version 108. They're a pretty high elo, 1580, so let's see how this works. It looks like they picked Cymanti on normal continents. Good luck with that, buddy. The new change is that we're guaranteed to start with 2 fish in our capital as Aquarion now, which is really nice because another change, they've got trade stations behind aquaculture. These replace atolls. I really liked the atoll name, so a little upset about losing that, but way more happy about gaining this here now that we're playing Aquarion. Yeah, we're trying to navigate some pretty poor resources, and my problem is I'm not really too convinced that we're actually going to have any fish on other cities. But our other paths are really bad, and we're pretty much guaranteed to go into fishing at some point, just because it's got marine life and aquaculture past it. So it might not be the best, but we don't know what our resources are. I'm going to choose to be hopeful. It's not looking good for Team Hope right now. There's room for another village over here, so I might as well go pick up another squid. So these are the new guys. They're called squids. I'm pretty sure Midgeon just coded in Florida for the new guys here. And yeah, quite a divergence of resources. It looks like we're going to have to go into org. That's pretty much fine. We need org for the level 3 upgrade on our capital anyways. But I'm kind of wondering if the new city names for the Aquarion skin are different than that for the base tribe. If those are also based on Florida, so we're going to see like, Tampa pop up. Or, the famous Florida city of Buad. But let's go ahead and pick up org and check. Anyone in Ebu, Florida, hit me up. So they are Cymanti, which is concerning. They are able to place some algae and then start running centipedes into us. They can get that up pretty quickly if we're not careful. Of course, we're going to have to be dealing with Reichi on the water as well. But it's not too concerning. I'd say we're definitely favored in this matchup. You're going to grab this city, and you're going to keep pushing west, where I hope to find more cities. We could take an explorer here. I think I actually don't want to, because I need to get into writing and waterways and aquaculture. There's a lot of text for me to buy. I can get one atoll here. I'm just still going to call them atolls, forgive me. It's going to be help me upgrade this city, which needs a population, and connect all of my other cities as well. No shorelines on these tiles over here, so unlikely that we're going to pick up any villages over here, so I might push this guy straight west right now. Ah, perfect. Ooh, and there's a ruin for that guy to get too. So yeah, as I said, we're going to have to go into aquaculture here. Well, I guess have to is pretty strong language, but we're going to go ahead and go into aquaculture here. It's going to help us in picking up that first crab on our capital. So go ahead. Some nice connections. Some nice upgrades. And we are set up to have a turn 9 Grand Bazaar. If we combine that with hunting or maybe get a lighthouse from an explorer, I guess I will get a squid here. I should have probably a couple turns ago then. Gonna clear this fog, hope that this explorer goes east, helps us out. We want to see that crab, and we want to see it a little badly. This feels like it's going to be one of those lost city ruins, which I've heard they come with a little surprise, so I really hope it gives us a lost city and I can show that off for you guys. I think I just want to place an atoll here. It will connect to both of these cities. Okay, thank you for getting stars from him eventually, Explorer. And we're gonna go all in, hoping for a really nice Explorer. That's gonna get us this lighthouse. Ah, perfect, perfect. And let's see the crab. What? That's not a crab. Hold on. I gotta pull out the face cam for this. Are they writing my family out of the game? Nah, that's messed up. Hey, hey, Midjuan, we did a lot for you, all right? You can't be giving you can't be giving Aquarion this kind of glow up. And hey, what is this? This thing sucks. I don't even know if I'm happy to be playing this anymore. Oh my god, it ribbits when you click on it. Alright, I've forgiven Midjuan, actually. The toads are great. They're the best units in the game. This is also kind of bizarre. Our village density wasn't truly spectacular or exceptional. It's turn 9. We have 2 super units and 24 stars per turn, and we're Aquarion. Is that bizarre to anyone else? Because that's very bizarre to me. So, I'm thinking this turn I'm going to go into waterways, which I should have done that a little earlier. I wasn't expecting that to get pushed by a swordsman, I guess. But I think I'm going to go into waterways now, which is going to help us here in grabbing this village in the east, as well as over here and just exploring. And watch this. Hey! Toad's got the bubble, and he's going to be moving very fast. We're going to pick up Marine Life next turn. But for right now, I want to grab these ruins, so I'll pick up a couple of amphibians to do that. By the way, these guys are still called amphibians, despite the fact that they ride crocas, and should definitely be called reptiles. Now, the really nice thing about the bubbles is that I think they're going to help us out against Cymantia a lot. Just finally being able to move riders an extra tile with Aquarion. Ever since Aquarion units lost the ability to use roads, this has just been really lacking for them. And that's a lot of starfish I'm seeing actually right now. I'm gonna keep looking at starfish. I might get an amphibian here and a warrior to keep an eye on this village eventually. I mean, look, yeah, this ruin is definitely looking like one of those lost cities. We're going to grab all these starfish that we can, and we're going to also go into navigation next turn. Now, ordinarily, take the ruin before the tech. If this gives me navigation, I've just saved a whole ton of stars, but probably what's going to happen is it's going to be a village and mean that I actually won't be able to afford navigation. So I'm definitely going to buy navigation before taking this ruin. Ooh, he's got climbing, so he has vision on us now, and I just traded him 11 stars. So he's kind of flush with cash at the moment. I'm just going to move our little frog over here. Sorry, our little toad over here. Pick up a really nice explorer. And this should give me vision on most of what they're doing. Any extra vision I need after that I can probably get from these 2 cities. So yeah, some exploring here will be really nice for us. We're not going to have too many stars ourselves, because we're going to be buying navigation right now. Way too expensive if we wait any longer on it. And we are going to have to take some explorers here. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Getting the centipedes ready. That was a fantastic explorer. Now let's see. It is a lost city. They're level 1 as opposed to what they started with as level 2 in the beta. But look at that. They have a whole ton of resources that they spawn with them. So we're going to go here. Ah, this is one of Cymanti's terrain. It's not a flooded tile, so I don't gain a bubble. That's my bad. These explorers kind of love me right now. They've been very kind to me. I'm feeling like we can go ahead and pick up... Yep, we're going to pick up Eye of God this game for sure. That's also going to be useful later on, I'm hoping, that I can train units here. Move them onto this flooded tile for bubbles. We're going to see him blow this up. Yeah, he's going to blow this up, give us an algae, but then he's going to get this centipede to attack us. Now, normally I might be scared, but I can kill that segment with these 2 amphibians here. And then I got my toad, the best unit in the game, by the way, right next to that head, so he's just blown up his Reichi, and he's lost his only centipede. He tried to make it a little harder for me. He saw that I had this swordsman in range. He took away my bubble there, but that's alright. Now we attack. Because we don't take any retaliation, our bubble stays, and we can go right back to where we were. Take that out. And we're going to go ahead attack like this. He's going to lose his bubble because he took some retaliation. But we can clear with our amphibian, which lets us go ahead and bounce it way over into the east. And I'm already feeling dominating in this position. I don't see what much they're going to do to me. We have to deal with this shaman, and we don't really have great ranged units. Tridents exist, they've got bubbles, they're kind of nice, but we wouldn't even kill this shaman here. Alright, I can only place atolls on flooded tiles, so I might as well move this back here. Get a trade station. Now, I think I'll go ahead. I don't actually know the direction, because I'm pretty close to the middle of the map. But let's see if I can go ahead. Yeah. Oh, what? My tentacles didn't kill this hexapod. What's up with that? I'm kind of confused about that interaction. I was really expecting it to get pushed and kill that hexapod. Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting. I even kind of feel like that's a bug. A bug? Okay, sorry. Now this is something pretty cool in this version. When the toads move here, it's gonna go onto this tile. It creates the flood with the auto flood ability and then automatically gets a bubble. Now, I thought the auto flood ability when it first came out was maybe a little lame, but I've come around on it. Okay, more stars there. So I do definitely think the ability is much more cool now than it was before. And I might get some sharks too, just to show them off. It looks like they've abandoned the game. They haven't been making any movements for the last several turns. But I mean, it said that they're still in the game and playing. But now it feels like the toads are much more integrated into the rest of the game. Like, this is a unit that can move a couple tiles, but it won't move on to any of the tiles that aren't flooded already. So, let's go ahead, I guess, as long as they're allowing us to. And we're just gonna go ahead, take out this shaman here. And go up there. And yeah, unfortunately, sorry to burst your bubble, but that's what happens when you walk onto a tile that isn't flooded or has water on it. So make sure you share this image with a friend who's telling you that Cymanti is overpowered. There's some new competition in the game. Aquarion may be a little too strong, maybe needs a nerf soon, Trying to figure out a way that I can show off the shark. I guess I can show it off right here. So our sharks got changed a little bit, because now they have 3.5 attack, which means they hit like a truck. That's a lot of damage. Now, our sharks and our octus are actually a little unique. Even if you put them on flooded tiles, they're not going to gain a bubble. That's because they are not amphibious. The shark is specifically a water unit. Same for the octu or yelly. These guys are pretty strong. They don't really need bubbles. But that looks like it about wraps up our game. So thanks all for watching. I encourage you to go try out the new Aquarion. Absolutely, very fun. Right. Biggest advice I can give is don't get too excited. This is a small Drylands game I've been playing. I know we all want to play the new Aquarion. It's cool and fun and exciting, but there is a time and a place for it. In some circumstances, Cymanti might be a little stronger than Aquarion. Also, don't maybe walk your warrior onto the Park of Fortune. I'm not really sure what was to be expected here. Just kidding. Here's the actual strategy discussion. It will be pretty brief, though. To show this, I'll share this replay. I'll keep it in the description. If you're watching too far in the future, it may not work anymore. But this is actually a game against Polaris. Now, these two tribes have gone back and forth a long while. Tridents used to tear Polaris apart. Then Tridents weren't so good, and Polaris gained a lot of new abilities to freeze ice. In the last few versions, Polaris has been bullying Aquarion, actually. I think now with Bubbles, uh, Aquarion actually has a good fighting chance. I think it's a lot more competitive between these two tribes. So you can check out this replay. It goes into a lot of different stuff, a lot of unique interactions. I think the big thing, though, is that now if we look over at Aquarion's tech tree, because we've got Bubbles, the way that you're going to be fighting a game between Polaris and Aquarion, it's going to be a terrain battle where Polaris is going to use their Moonies and everything else that makes ice. They're going to freeze all those flooded tiles so that you can't get those benefits like Bubbles and the extra movement and everything else, or like doing Optus on there. Whereas Aquarion is going to be working on flooding those tiles using their toads, their crabs, spending some time with their other units doing that. It's going to be all about that. It's also going to be about breaking ice. If we get later into this game, Polaris has a ton of ice, ton of control of the map. I actually use this turn, go ahead and flood those tiles. Manually flood those tiles even. As I'm just trying to live over here. But what's going to happen is I'm actually able to turn it around because I can use my riders, my amphibians, to go ahead and break all that ice. It is a giant terrain battle, and as soon as I start controlling the terrain around turn 18, I'm able to turn it all the way around into this. So I think bubbles definitely make Aquarion not just stronger, but way stronger. Before, this would be completely unthinkable from that position I showed earlier. And I think we're going to see two major things. We're going to see fishing into aquaculture more economic. That's kind of the approach I go for in this game, as well as the Cymanti game you saw earlier. And the other is going to be going into waterways really early and trying to pick up some explorers, expand really quickly across the map. That's also, I imagine, playable. I, of course, am going to pick up waterways quickly, but I'm not going to pick them up that quickly or pick them up as my first tech. I'm really curious to see what that looks like. I encourage you all to go play the new Aquarion. Tell me what you think. This is just an emergency video, going out fast for the Aquarion update. We're going to still be launching the channel January 1st, so don't worry about this one too much.